Hi everyone, my name is Meymouna. I talk all the time. I always do speeches and I still get nervous. And a lot of people, when they first meet me, it's hard for them to realize I'm actually in my 30s. I like to wear three-piece suits and high heels to look a little older. But I still come off as a little girl. I'm the founder of the TIA Foundation. We're a nonprofit organization based here in Orange County to assist refugees and displaced American families. And the reason why I started this work is because I was born on a refugee camp in 1980. Back in 1975, during the Red Terror campaign in Ethiopia, my parents fled, and they went to Somalia. They were really young at the time and had the opportunity to meet each other. They got married. I was born on the camp. And when I was about 2 years old, my dad was resettled by the International Rescue Committee in San Diego. My mom and I reunited with him a year and a half later. After we reunited, we moved to Orange County, and this is where I grew up most of my life, my upbringing. And like many refugees, we were pretty invisible. What is a refugee? Refugees are people because of their race, religion, nationality, their social group, their political beliefs, are no longer protected by their country, and they flee. My family left because there was internal conflict. It was during the Red Terror campaign that was led by Mengistu. I think in a year and a half, 500,000 people were killed in Ethiopia. And because there was no free press at the time, the world didn't know about it. They only knew about us, hungry Africans, when we got to our camps, whether it was in Sudan, Kenya, Somalia. And that's when there was international awareness about this. But a refugee is different than an asylum seeker. If you're lucky, you can hop on a plane, come to the US, undocumented, then you state your case to the judge, and they will give you asylum, which is the same rights that a refugee has. So those are the two differences. Whether you go to a camp or you come here by plane, you pretty much are seeking refuge. You are a forced migrant. In Orange County, these are the statistics, 2007 to 2011. We still have refugees being resettled from Southeast Asia, places like Vietnam, Cambodia. But other populations that are ignored are families from Iraq and families from Iran who fled and resettled because of war or maybe religious persecution, like the Baha'i community that was talked about earlier. TIA is a very small group, a small organization. It's pretty much me, and each year, over the past 3 years, we've helped about 300 families per year with our team of volunteers. We also launched a club at UCI called Fresh Start, that's Students Together Aiding Refugees Today. And then we have another club at Cal State Fullerton that just launched as well. And with the help of the volunteer community, we've been able to help families from the Middle East, Africa, Eastern Europe, and Asia. If you're curious, the biggest population we serve is not East African, it's Iraqi, families from Iraq. We also serve families from Afghanistan, Iran, Syria, Burma, Kenya, Russia, Ethiopia. This is a global crisis. There's no continent that does not have forced migrants. So what kind of difficulties do these families face when they get here? Well, my dad was here by himself for 15 months. He barely had a box to sit on. He was renting a little room on his own, and he was working at the local airport in San Diego as a janitor, along with other refugees that found work through IRC. So they do help you. They find housing, find employment, learn English. But the The caseload, depending on the grant that the resettlement agency has, is 90 days. So in 90 days, you learn English, find a job, have housing, and sign your kids up for school and all that, right? But you're still dealing with difficulties such as medical issues. There's a new system of doing things, a sense of loneliness, social challenges, financial challenges, the day-to-day obstacles, right? So today, if I had to flee California and go to Ecuador, I don't speak Spanish, I don't know the customs, I don't know the style, I don't know who to trust, but my agency can help me for 90 days. But if you're living in Orange County, there's also a high cost of living. So you sign up for welfare and you sign up for CalWorks and all this stuff, but Orange County is 25% above the medium like US average for the living index. So that means that if you live like in LA or Oakland, you can find an apartment for about $1,000, a one-bedroom apartment. But if you live in Orange County, then it would be about $1,300, depending on the neighborhood, sometimes higher for a one-bedroom. But the question we all have is, how do I create a home, right? Home is really important. So I want to tell you a story about how I met my husband. We are both advocates for the refugee community. He was born in Los Angeles. Both parents are Palestinian from Jerusalem. One side of his family went to Syria, another side of his family went to Jordan, came to the US. So that's where he was raised, and then somehow got a job with the International Rescue Committee in Glendale. And then I was in grad school, and I was just trying to brand the organization. Well, long story short, we met up at the airport to pick up a family of 10. This is before I got my 501c3 status and all that stuff. So we meet at the airport. It's a family of 10 from Iraq. There's two brothers named Mohammed and Houssein. They have their wives and their children. They're coming into the airport. I meet my husband, Shukri, which was sweet, right? He asked me out to lunch, and I thought it was a business meeting the next day. And I said, yeah, I'd like to go, but I have to help Mohammed and Houssein. Like, we got to drop off some furniture for them. I'd like to, I'm free after 12 o'clock. So we met up, and then 7 months later, he proposed, and then April 2011, we got married. So this month is our 3-year anniversary, which also marks over, yeah, thanks. Thank you. So that marks about maybe almost 4 years of working with Mohammed and Housein's family. So when they first met us, met me and my mom and some volunteers, we helped them create a home. So we would collect furniture items and basic necessities and set up their home and their living, all with like used items and a lot of love, right? But who do you trust, right? You just came from war. You come from a region where you can't trust your neighbor. War is evil, let's be honest. You can't pick a side and think it's just black and white. You have brothers that fight each other, cousins that fight each other. My tribe, for example, when Ethiopia and Somalia was fighting each other, you had people that fled Ethiopia at one time to live in Somalia, get recruited for war, and now they're fighting their cousin across the border, right? Same thing is happening all over the world. So you have these two brothers that come from this region of hostility, and they come to Orange County, which looks really serene and pretty, and now they're living in Irvine, and this little girl pops up and says, I'll help you out. And what we do is, or what I do, is set them up with a mentor. So the mentor shows up and says, hey, I'll be your compass, I'll help you out, I'll provide ESL coaching for the mom, who's probably a stay-at-home mom. I'll help dad find employment. We'll sign up the kids for programs so they can go out for soccer and homework tutoring and ESL coaching, and just know that you're safe. You're all right. But once they get on their feet, the question is, should I give back? And what we try to do is inspire families who are now okay to give back. So Mohammed and Housein's children, there's about 6 total in the household. They've been part of our soccer programs that we launched in December 2011. They're part of homework tutoring. They go out on field trips. They feel really empowered. Things are going great for them. And after time passed, I finally approached Houssein, and I said, hey, Houssein, I have a family from Afghanistan that just arrived here to Anaheim, and the mother just had twins. She needs our help. They're sleeping on the floor. I don't know what to do. I'm kind of small. I need help moving furniture. I need help gathering stuff. What do you say? He says, of course. So he calls up people, and then now you have Houssein and his brother giving back to local refugees. So this is a system we've created. You show up, we take care of you, then we ask you to take care of others. It's really healing, and I think it's really empowering to watch these families go through the full circle. So why am I here today? I'm here because the organization, well, actually I'm here because Fran invited me and Marjan. Thank you. Yay. I do need your support. You know, we work on a very small capacity, and our word is spread through, our work is spread through word of mouth. And there's a very robust volunteer community out there that are helping these families. Even though it sounds great that I help 300 people a year, there's 20,000 refugees just in Orange County and Los Angeles alone that have been resettled since 2008. So the 300 I serve with the organization is less than 2%. It's like 1.5% of people that we're assisting. Everyone else, like I mentioned, is invisible. When you walk down the street, you don't know that I came here as a refugee. You don't know if the person sitting next to you was an asylum seeker. There has to be some kind of support and awareness. And you're invited to become a mentor, hang out at field trips, become a mentor for our current mentors. Maybe you have a background, a professional background of some sort that can inspire and support our current volunteers that are helping these families. You can tell people about the TIA Foundation, or you can donate. Whatever you can do to support and help the word go out would be greatly appreciated, because if all of you tell one friend today, then that's 200 people, right, by the end of this evening. Thank you.